Hey, do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, you're just not getting better? You're practicing, you're learning, you're trying, and yet still you feel like you're not improving at all. Well, that's what happened to me. And I think I finally realized why this is happening. Recently, I have painted this. And when I finished, I've noticed two things. First, this is objectively better than any other bird painting I've done before. And two, that it didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel like I have improved. I was barely satisfied with it. This is a painting that I made a few months ago. And objectively, I know that this is much better than that. I know this. And yet, as soon as I was finished, I just didn't feel like it. Do you know that feeling? Perhaps going as far as asking yourself whether you are a real artist at all? The whole point of this channel is to make you feel a bit better, make you feel a bit more at ease and at peace. And sometimes I try to do that through relaxing speed paints, and at other times through talks like this one. So I hope that this talk will help you to let go of some worries you're having in regards to art or to any other craft that you are pursuing. And maybe it won't, but maybe it will. Let's go into it. And while we are at it, do you know what that bird is? Because if you do, and you are the first one to comment down below, you get to request the next bird painting. If you don't know, no worries. I'm gonna drop it at some point in this video. I would be really happy if you would participate. I'm so excited. I really want to know what bird you are going to request. I will be referring to two quotes to make my point. The first one is attributed to Albert Einstein, and it goes, "As our circle of knowledge expands, so does the circumference of darkness surrounding it." Also, I'm saying attributed to Einstein because I feel like nowadays every second quote is attributed to Einstein, and I found neither good sources proving it, neither sources contradicting it, so take it as you will. And the second one is, "The more I know, the less I realize I know," which again is attributed to Socrates, but apparently that's a misquote. And apparently it might even be that Socrates never existed at all. History is hard. Well, there's a reason why I chose not to study history, so forgive me for stopping my research after an hour or so. If you are a history kind of person though, feel free to comment down below and clear things up. So what is it about the circle of knowledge and the circumference of darkness, and why am I mentioning it? Imagine that these are all the things you know. Just outside of it are the things of which you know that you don't know them. And further out are the things of which you don't even know that you don't know them. In a year or two, you might realize that, oh no, this or that, I have been doing it wrong all this time. But now you don't know it yet. It's placed in this infinite area of knowledge surrounding our small circle of knowledge. So, Anastasia, you might say, how does that help me? Well, in a way, it leads exactly to the second misquote. The more I know, the less I realize I know. Imagine you've advanced and you've learned the things you needed or wanted to learn, which is great. But now this becomes the area of things of which you know that you don't know them. And you see the problem, right? Because it's bigger than the previous one. As your circle of knowledge expanded, so did the darkness surrounding it. And that might actually make you feel as if you know less, not more. People from academic backgrounds often talk about how one answered question leads to at least two unanswered ones, and it's the same in other areas. the pursuit of knowledge and our own development, it becomes akin to a hydra. You cut one head off and two more appear in its place. And for a less disturbing analogy, think of kids and how they often ask one question after another and just aren't satisfied with any answer you give them, and how they tend to follow it up with many more questions right afterward. If you lose sight of this, as I did, it might make you feel as if you're not progressing at all. It might even make you feel more and more insecure just because you learn more and more of the things you hadn't learned yet. And so I would just like to say, you're doing fine. You're most probably doing everything just right, and there will always be things that you or me are not good at, simply because the circumference of darkness is infinite. I hope this made sense to you, and I hope that you found this talk helpful. And if not, maybe check out my other videos, or maybe not, or maybe subscribe and leave a like, or do neither of those things. My friends, you are free people and you can do whatever you want. But I hope to see you again. Bye!